The glycemic index? What's that? Is it something I need to worry about? How does it work? Well, if you stay tuned, I'm going to tell you. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? Jashuha Ayers, hashtag Ayers Fitness, checking in, signing in, logging in, vlogging in. So today I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about the glycemic index. What is it? How does it work? Should you worry about it? Is it a big deal? So I'm going to cover all those topics because it is something a lot of people have a pretty big misconception about, and people aren't fully aware about what it is or how it works. So the glycemic index, it's a system that ranks foods on a scale from 1 to 100 based on their effect on the blood sugar levels. So something with a high GI number, a high glycemic index number, is most likely going to mean that it's higher in carbs. Not higher in carbs. It's going to mean that it's refined in sugars. It's going to be higher in sugars. Refined, it's going to be starched. It's mainly going to be white, things like that. Typically things with less fiber, something that's like bleached. One thing to note, the glycemic index typically, it only focuses on things that have 50 grams of carbohydrates or higher, I believe is how what it's ranked on, or what it starts, that's where it starts ranking it, once you hit 50 grams and above. Also, a lot of today's popular diets focus on trying to cut out and stay away from high GI foods, which, as you'll learn a little bit, may be good, may be bad, so stay tuned. Alright, so some examples of foods high with GI, or not with GI, but foods that are high GI, that have a high glycemic index, would be things like whole bread, baked potato, raisins, cornflakes, watermelon, soft drinks, things like that. And things that would have a lower glycemic index is going to be things that are typically more complex in carbs. Not always, but typically they are. So it's like whole grains, bananas, apples, actually even chocolate, apples, milk, what am I missing? French fries even, beans, spaghetti, pasta, all kinds of things like that. Like I said, mainly complex carbs. Okay, so there are some problems with the glycemic index. Sorry to bust your chops if you're a big glycemic index fan. However, one of the problems is that the scale is done on when it's just you digest just a strictly carbohydrate by itself, or the full carbohydrate meal. However, in today's society, not too many people are just eating, a potato by itself and that's it. Typically, you have fruits and vegetables with it, or even, a drink. You have milk with it. You have some sort of protein with it. So you have something else that's gonna tremendously affect the different kind of spike that it will have on the blood glucose levels. Also, another big factor that comes into role is a physically active person or a lean person compared to a more sedentary individual. The person who has a more active lifestyle, their sensitivity to their sensitivity to a glucose spike is going to be much less than that person of a sedentary, because our bodies have become a little bit more adjusted to it, and it can handle it and knows how to do it and how to work with it better, essentially, rather than just trying to spike it up real high. Body doesn't know what to do with it, so it's going to store it as fat. Hence why you should work out anyway. What I got right here is it's an example of the varied responses to eating a baked potato, blood glucose level and insulin responses. Person A, the unfit individual, an obese person, as you can see up here, and then you have person B, which is a fit and lean person, and this is over the duration of 90 minutes. So as you can see, person A, the unfit obese person, from eating the baked potato, they spike up pretty high, and it lasts for a lot longer than it does the active lean person. So yeah, right there, that just shows you that the unfit person has a higher spike because of the fact that their body's not used to it and their body can't adjust with it properly. And the fit person, the lean person, their body's a little bit more accustomed to it and can handle it better. So that's one of the problems with the glycemic index that people need to take into consideration. Like I said, I'm not saying you should avoid it. I'm not saying you should go for it. I'm merely just, giving you guys the information so that way you can figure out what you need to do, what's best for you. Always just do more research. I'm just here to, give you guys more information to help you guys out. So use this knowledge and let it help you. And I just want to go over a couple more things with it. Now, with fruit in the glycemic index, it's actually kind of a funny thing because everybody knows, there's different ripeness of fruits, And believe it or not, the ripeness of the fruit does change the effect that it will have on the blood glucose level. For example, a banana can range anywhere from 30 to 70 on the GI scale based on the level of ripeness that it has. So that's pretty crazy, and that's also, you know, something that you should probably take into consideration if you are following the glycemic index for your own personal use. Another problem with the glycemic index is that it kind of preaches that you should stay away from foods that are high in GI. However, there's a lot of foods that are low in GI that happen to have a lot of calories in it and be very high in saturated fat, which has been, you know, obviously linked to obesity and to coronary heart disease and, you know, just a vast amount of health problems. So you would really want to avoid that. So that's one of the kind of, I guess you could say, flip-flop backward things about the glycemic index, preaching that, because not all the foods that are in the low GI are good for you. Alright, so just to do a quick recap, and I may have went off a little bit and said that I'm not trying to sway you guys in any particular way. However, I do have my own opinion, a stance on it, that you shouldn't base your sole diet based on purely the glycemic index for the average person, I'm going to say. Typically because the glycemic index, like I said before, it's only based on when it only really is fully true when that food is eaten on an empty stomach, which typically, like I said, most people don't eat food on, don't eat just one certain carbohydrate by itself. You typically have meat with it or veggies, or you typically have something with it. A lot of people don't eat foods alone, which I can't say that to be 100% true, because there's a lot of times that I just eat rice by itself. I'll have 5 servings of rice completely by itself. Just because that's just how I do it sometimes, which, there's nothing wrong with it if you're a physically active, healthy person. Another thing is also that you should also be conscious of the nutrient density, because there are foods that have a high GI number, like potatoes, raisins, carrots, things like that. But they, when you look at them, they have a lot of micronutrients. They got a lot of good vitamins and minerals, and just a lot of other really good things in there for you, even though it is based, it's high on the GI. So you shouldn't strictly base your entire diet just going off the glycemic index. So that is my 2 cents. And like I said, a lot of this information, most of the information came from the Cooper Institute. You can check them out online. Very great place. So yeah, don't base your diet completely on that. At the end of the day, your diet, it's just calories in versus calories out. So that's what you need to be concerned with. Obviously be smart, eat good, train hard. I will see you guys next time. Let me know if there's any videos you guys want to see, anything you guys want to know about. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, comment down below. Them bulking abs though. Comment down below and I'll get back to you guys. Hope you liked the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See y'all later. Till next time, Ayers Fitness.